Friendship is the foundation for every strong, healthy marriage. You still need to do things that friends do. What do friends do? They have fun together, they support each other, they have things in common, they hang out, they talk, they laugh. No one wants a marriage that is just 100% work all of the time. We need joy in our relationship. That's what makes it worth it.
Welcome to the Marriage and Motherhood Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Perda. As a marriage coach who's married with 3 kids, I know how much parenthood could change a marriage. If flirting, laughing, and having fun together feels like a thing of the past, then I'm here to teach you that marriage doesn't have to feel so hard with your parents, and your marriage can thrive even when you're in the season of raising kids. Whether you're in a good place in your marriage and you just want to continue growing together, or you're wondering if you even like your spouse anymore, this podcast has something for you. Join me here each week as we dive into what it takes to help your marriage grow, and maybe even do a 180. You'll learn ways to handle conflict better, bring that spark back into your relationship, as well as learn how to improve other areas of your life from my lovely guest experts. Are you ready for the next stage of your life in marriage? Let's dive in.
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Marriage and Motherhood Podcast. So today we're going to be talking about how important it is to keep having fun and connecting, even when you don't feel like it. Even when you are knee deep in working on your marriage and things feel tense, it's still important to connect and have fun and nurture the relationship. Okay. This topic is inspired by a theme that I'm noticing in my clients, because working on your marriage sometimes kind of feels like when you are doing some spring cleaning. You're purging those closets that you've been stuffing things into, and things look worse before they get better. Okay. So I want to acknowledge that working on your marriage isn't always the most fun thing to do. Okay. It's kind of like you're hanging on to this hope that the effort that you're putting in is going to pay off and that things are going to get better. But in the beginning, you're kind of just relying on that faith that it actually will make a difference because you don't have the results yet. And that can be a tough place to be in because it could feel heavy, it could feel hopeless. But when you have fun, when you connect, it breaks up that tension and all that effort that you're putting in, and it could build your motivation and drive to continue working on your marriage. One thing that is so important to keep in mind is that your marriage is based on friendship. Friendship is the foundation for every strong, healthy marriage. You still need to do things that normal friends do. What do normal friends do? They have fun together. They support each other. They have things in common. They hang out. They talk. They laugh. Are you still doing those things in your marriage? You can still have resentment and be actively working through that and trying to work on communicating better and having more of that romance. But you also need to continue being friends. Because if you don't work on being friends and you don't nurture that relationship with your spouse, that's when communication goes sour really, really fast. Because even though it's not the type of connection that you want, right? You are wanting more of a romantic connection. You are wanting more of a physical connection. Without that friendship connection, it's easy to lose patience. It's easy to lose understanding and compassion. And when you two have something come up like conflict, you go straight to villainizing each other. You go far away from wanting to understand each other, wanting to be compassionate towards each other. And it's really just both of you butting heads, not wanting to see the other person's side and just fighting just to fight. But you know, in my world, that conflict is inevitable and arguing is optional. And nurturing your friendship is what helps you remember that arguing is optional and that you can pivot away from arguing and you can do things to prevent arguing so that your conflict can just stay a conversation, so that it can be productive, so that you can work together as partners to navigate through these challenges and issues and concerns and come out stronger as a couple. No one wants a marriage that is just 100% work all of the time. We need joy in our relationship. That's what makes it worth it. No one wants to just be constantly doing things and having no benefits coming out of it, right? And so, as you're building on this friendship, that's where that intimacy is going to be born out of. But if we neglect friendship, we neglect the fun, the joy, the support, the baseline niceties of being together, then it's going to be very difficult to motivate yourself to work on your marriage because that is not fun work. It's hard, okay? It's hard work because it's requiring you to look at yourself. It's requiring you to grow, to do things that are not natural to you, to get to the point where your marriage is healthier, especially when you didn't have a good example growing up. It's going to be very different. It's going to require a lot of change, and change takes effort. So I want you to remember fun is still important. Prioritize that fun. So when marriage feels really hard, it feels like you just aren't on the same page and you're losing sight of why you even like this person. Maybe you're questioning if you love this person still. Reintroduce fun and playfulness. Restore that connection because that's what's going to make conversations so much easier to navigate, so much easier to engage in, to continue being a part of and participate in. In fact, there are studies that show that laughter and positive experiences strengthen your relationships. And when your relationship feels strong, that's when you are more resilient to get through those harder moments where you're disagreeing, where you're not on the same page. But without that fun and those positive experiences, it's really difficult for us to see the other person's perspective. We are just in tunnel vision and we only understand ourselves and we just want them to understand our side. Okay. So here are some things that I want you to keep in mind when you're in the thick of working on your marriage and it feels really hard and you haven't really had much fun together lately. I want you to think about the small moments, okay? Having fun doesn't have to mean planning a full on date, hiring a sitter to hang out with someone that you maybe don't really want to spend time with. It could just be joking around with each other, sending each other reels to laugh about, right? It's that playful banter that you can have. Watching a comedy show together, having inside jokes. You can also change up the scenery. Life can get pretty mundane when you're parents, where it's like, okay, wake up, get the kids ready, take them to school, work, pick them up from school, take them to extracurriculars, do dinner, bedtime, rinse and repeat. But what if you switch things up? Do something more spontaneous. Maybe you go out to eat. Maybe you go on a road trip. Just do something different. Shake things up. Do something fun. Do a sip and paint. Go do a board and brush. Do axe throwing. That's actually really fun. Or an escape room. Do something out of the ordinary that's more lighthearted. That has nothing to do with talking about serious things, nothing to do with talking about how you're going to work on the marriage together. Just remember how to have fun together because that's what likely drew you two together in the first place. That's likely why you guys got married and decided to build a life together. And all you need to do is just remember to put that back in as something that needs to be done. Okay? That is going to help your marriage so much. Okay? So lean into being playful, surprise each other, send silly text messages, or think about fun memories that you had in the past. Maybe recreate them. Give yourself permission to take a break from working on your marriage all of the time. Take a step back from the heaviness and just enjoy each other. The fun that you create together is going to create more positive feelings between you two and make conversation so much easier. It's going to make you feel like partners again, teammates even, so that you can work together and problem solve together instead of feeling like you're just complete opposites. Okay? Fun fuels connection. Fun fuels you to continue making that progress, to continue working on your marriage. Things might feel hard right now, and you can still do things to make things lighter. Okay? So I'm inviting you to think of what you can do to break up the seriousness, whether it's playing card games, playing board games, having a dance party, screaming into a pillow next to each other. Do something fun, silly, lighthearted. Okay? That's what's going to keep you going through those hard moments, through that effort that you're putting in, and keep that friendship alive in your marriage. Okay? So that's my homework for you. Find something small that you can do to bring some fun into your relationship today. Because even in the toughest of seasons, fun, even just a little bit of fun, can go a really long way in helping your marriage strengthen, helping you solidify that foundation for you two. So go do that. And I'm going to share a link to my free masterclass, which is about how you can create a vision for your marriage so that you know what you're working towards. When you combine fun and vision, oh, that's just chef's kiss, okay? You will have your pathway to how to work on your marriage, what needs support, what you can do, what decisions to make, and how you can become more aligned together as a couple to have that marriage that you see for yourself when you're 80, when you're 90. Okay? So go check out that masterclass, and I hope you have an incredible day. I hope that you're leaving this episode feeling motivated to go think of something fun to do, because you don't have to wait for your marriage to be perfect and healthy for you two to have fun together. Okay? If you know someone that would benefit from listening to this episode, please share it. If you love this show, please leave a rating and review. I would so appreciate that. And if you need support, please reach out. I'm here for you. I would love to support you in having the marriage that you deserve and that you want. All right? I will catch you back here on the next episode. Bye.
That's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, please send me a message over on Instagram at Michelle Purda Coaching to let me know what you loved most about it. Hearing from my listeners is my absolute favorite. And if you've been loving this podcast, please leave a rating and review. This will help people like you find the show and get the help they need. Catch you here on the next episode. Bye.